My rivets have been getting cut off since I started using this OBS. Try to wait a second, see what happens. All right, so this time, gonna create a GLFW window, but for using OpenGL, I guess, the normal way instead of just goofing off. So let's go into the folder, and then I'll just call it like escape to exit colored window .lisp. And then I'm going to use require because I'm loading this. I'm going to load this file in to SBCL. But I guess one should really use ASDF, which I'm less familiar with, and I haven't messed with it in so long that I'd have to go back and figure that out. Because require is not portable. Probably for the main Lisps it will be, but you just can't depend on it being portable, so it's better to use ASDF. When you load a file in, you can't use quick load, so usually I'll say like QL quick load, but that's not going to work here. So that's why I'm using require. And then I'm just going to still create a package. I don't know how to get that stuff to work in here that works in the REPL, all the tab completion and Helm and all that stuff. Maybe I could just turn it on, I don't know, but local nicknames. Just did a lot of this stuff recently, so hopefully I don't need it. And then it was GLFW, and this was org.shirakumo. Is it fraf? .glfw. Of course, I could open up a REPL and test some of this stuff. But I think I got it. So this is package. We're going to go to OGL. Now when this loads, it's not actually going to switch. So if I open up a REPL, load this file, all the code below here, because I'm creating the package here, yeah? And then here, I'm saying in package. In the REPL, it will change into this package. But when you load the file, it doesn't change the REPL into this package. You'd still have to do that again manually inside the REPL. But all code below this line is now going to be inside that package. So I'm going to create a constant. And actually, I didn't grab this file. Let me think. So I start Chrome real quick. And then I'm actually going to be using this, I guess. So is it like learn OpenGL? There's a website here. I believe this is what I'm going through. Or going to go through. So getting started. I think hello window maybe. All right. This is so tacky that you can't fit everything in one little page like this. I think every website should focus on being half screen like this. So this is basically what I'm going to be going through. But just to put all this on one page, down here, it's the full source code. So I'm going to go here. And this is more for me than you. So maybe I'll shrink that a little bit and it won't be too small. Of course, you can just go to this page, so it doesn't matter. So this is in C. And I'm going to try to get this code to be in Lisp. So right here is where I'm at. This constant's right here. So def constant. We'll call it win width 800. Then here, just going to the Control A to go to the front, Control K to kill it, Control Y to paste it, and then put the height 600. And then they have their main here, and then there's this. I did this the other day. That's where I got this right here. To process input. I'm gonna go ahead and put this at the top before my main. So we switch to the package, yes. And then let's say defun process input. Now I'll try to convert this part right here over to Lisp. So defun process input, we're going to put when. And if equal, this is the same code I was typing in yesterday pretty much. And I think it was key state. Let's see over there, it's get key. And Chimera's thing, it was a key state. And then escape when, and then press. And then if that's true, then I'm going to set this to be should close P. The window. Set that to true. And then you can put like a documentation string, and just say like stuff all input, keyboard input, maybe keyboard input code here. I don't know what all is going to be here because I'm not very far in this tutorial. And then I think here I can go ahead and start my main function. So defun main, and I don't know, like a lot of times I'll just put my window out here and def parameter, make it global, and that might be how I'd normally be doing this, but since this is really small, I'm just going to make an example this time and put it inside main. I guess the one thing that would be different is if I put my def parameter that initializes the window outside of main, I'd have to use init outside of main too, because before I could create that window, init would have to be ran first, and so I would have to take this out and then put my def parameter afterwards. But since I'm gonna do it in here, then I can put it inside. So I can put GLFW input init right here, and then this just initializes GLFW, let's say. So I won't put the comments here, I'm commenting it with my voice. And then now we'll create an instance. Well, I guess if I put this code up later, but maybe I'll do that later. So we do a let, and then we'll say window, and this is where we'll create a window with make instance. And here, this is the title, the height and the width, which are the constants up here. I'm going to add a couple of more things in there, like the context version and the OpenGL core profile, because I want to make sure these work, because I think I'm supposed to be using those in this. So GLFW window, and then context set version major 3, and then context version minor 3, and then you can do an OpenGL profile, which I think I put OpenGL profile and then OpenGL core profile right here. This is GLFW Shirakumo common list, just so I get everything that I need. And then one of these two has the information I need, which I think is this one. And then this was OpenGL profile, I think. GL profile. There we go. So we put OpenGL profile, then OpenGL core profile. This just tells us to use the core. The compatible will be like backwards compatible. I want to say before 3.3. And then we'll put a title. Just say use escape to exit this colored window, let's say. Colored window. And then we're going to use the width, which was a constant up there, plus when width, and then height, plus when height. And I think that's all I need here. So let's go back to the other code here. And then, this is I guess the only ugly thing about using lets pretty much is now all that code has to be wrapped inside this let, so all the code's going to be indented to the right a little bit more than I'd like it to be, but if I were to put that def parameter outside this, then I wouldn't have to worry about all this being inside a let. And also when you're inside the code like this, if I'm outside this function, when you put a comment, it's usually 3. Maybe I should have been commenting these. So I usually put 2 spaces, and then one semicolon means an inline comment, basically. So I'll just say like initialize GLFW. And then out here, if I had something, let's just do it here. Create a package to run code in, whatever. That's how you put your comment. At the very top, you can use 4 semicolons, and this will just be an explanation of what your code's going to be, the whole thing. At the very top, it's 4 semicolons. So you say like, create a GLFW window to run OpenGL code in. And then now that I'm down here, I guess now I do a loop. So I'll just say 2 comments because it's inside a function. It's already inside some code, explaining the code below inside something, inside a S expression, let's say. So we'll create a loop that gets process input, let's say, and then sets the color, sets color of window, and then we'll swap the buffer, and then we need to pull events also, so swap buffer and pull events. I'm just making an example of how the code, the comments would be, I guess. And then so now we just need to create a loop. So loop until And this is basically over here, the while here. So I'm using a while. I'm going to use an until. Loop until GLFW should close P. And then right here, you see this is kind of basically the thing here. While not GLFW window should close window. That's basically what this is. And I have to put the window there. And then I do. So the first thing I want to do is process events. Process input, I guess it was. And that's the code right here that lets me hit escape and get out of there. And then now, this is actually some OpenGL code. So clear color. And then here I'm just going to use a green, I guess. 0.5, 0.1, and then the alpha is just no alpha. So here we could set color to clear with. And then the reason I usually put one semicolon here is, and then no space, is let's say there was another line here. Let's just write this code right here, right? GL clear as an example. GL clear. And it was called color buffer, I think. Color buffer. And then you would normally put these in the same. So right here, it's going to be clear with chosen color, let's say. Now, if there was a space here, then that would mean that this line continues from this line, and both of these are meant for this. So if there was a third one down here, it had the space, all this inline code would go to this one right here. But since this right here is for this particular line, I don't put a space there. I don't know how, like, this is just picked up from old Lisp code, like from the 60s and 70s, like really old Lisp code. This is the way they did it back in the day. I don't know, like modern programmers, how they do this anymore, but that's what it meant back then. From what I've read, of course, I don't really know what I'm talking about. And that's just the convention that I've picked up. So, if you ever see that, I think nowadays a lot of people just put a space here no matter what, and just use the inline for that one line. But I'll just explain that, because if I'm ever doing that, then you know what I'm doing. GLFW. So these two lines are OpenGL code, that's why it's just a GL. The rest of this code I've been typing, it's GLFW code. So we'll say swap buffers. We have to tell it which window. And then now GLFW pull events. And then have a finally clause here. Finally, GLFW destroy when. So we can close the let there. And then now we'll actually shut down. Well, my finally should, I would think, be on a different line than the rest of this code. Makes me think something's wrong, but I'm also used to typing in the REPL. So I think in the REPL, this code right here, these lines would be pushed forward. They wouldn't be in the same line as a do. And this finally would be over here, like in line with a do maybe. And these would be pushed over. So for some reason, the Lisp file is indenting different. And normally that's how I know if something's wrong, is if my indentation's wrong or something. So this actually shuts down GLFW and releases all memory, let's say. And also, I think that's the end. So just Control A to get back to the front. And then I'm going to hit Control Alt F to get to the end of the S expression that I'm on. And then down here, it just told me, I don't know if you noticed that. Down here, it told me what it closed because I can't see up here. So if I get rid of that and put it back, then see it's saying it matches defund main. Do it one more time. I guess some people don't like it being all the way down there in the YouTube player though. So one more time, defund main. And it closes the main, so I know even though I'm not scrolling up there that which one it closed. And then we can say like out here, run the program. So an example of the comment outside of a function is 3 semicolons again. And then I'll use OGL. It's not exported, so I need 2 semicolons, main. If I wanted to just run main like this, I'd have to actually run in package first inside the REPL. This code will run though. So maybe I should show that because that code's running inside main. But if so run the program could actually just be main like this. Now, if I'm in the REPL, from REPL would use OGL main, and then unless in package OGL, let's say. And then another thing I could do is once slide's open, I can hit Control C, Control K to compile this file. Put it up here maybe. To compile and run file from Sly. I hit Control C, Control K. But would have to run QL quick load GLFW first, because the require is just for loading the file. It won't run, that require up top won't work for compiling this file. So finally open Sly up. And then Control L to get to the top. The first thing I want to do, just because this thing looks so funky right here, is Control Alt spacebar to highlight all that, Alt W to copy it, Control O to come down here, and Control Y to paste. And now I'm going to hit Control B just to get to the front. And if I hit Control space, it highlights everything, and then hit Tab, which won't work because I have that home and home company on, so Control I. And then here, that's what I'm looking for. This is what I'm used to seeing. And therefore, this code looks correct to me. I wasn't sure if that code was correct because it's not, for some reason, indenting that code correctly for my tastes, which is probably some setting I don't have set correct. It might be like a difference between eLisp and Common Lisp or something. I don't know. There's just so much stuff to mess with. So I saved that file probably Control X, Control S, Control X O to come back down here, and I could load the file because I haven't used Quick Lisp, so I'm going to do that first. So this is like C www. There we go. So it's already typed. I'm going to hit Control E to get to the end, or just enter, I guess. Because yeah, I'm using that slime Helm Company stuff that's different than I'm used to. So there I just hit enter and my cursor moves to the end. And this will load the page. So GLFW does not exist. So that means I have to quick load it first. So if I ran that from a command line, would I have to do that, I wonder? So let's just do that. Maybe if I was running this from outside of REPL, that require is going to run that correctly. I thought because I had that require up here, I wouldn't have to do that though. So, oops. Say quick quick load GLFW, and then now I'll load that file. Oh, you know what? I'm going to restart this because I'm wrong. I misspelled GLFW as always. Restart this just to see that I don't have to do that. And here I'm just going to say Control C, Control O is to clear the last input. But since I'm starting over, I want to say Control C, Alt O, just erases all the history. Now my history is empty. And I think it was saying that I said GF. And there it is. Let me see how many times. Just that once. GLFW. Better than I was doing yesterday, though. Alright. So now if I try to load this file again. Context Verizon minor. So usually I can hit Q, but for some reason the debugger didn't catch my cursor. So I just Control X O'd over there, and now I hit Q. Control X O over here again. And then look for minor. Control R to search backwards. And then hit enter. And then right here, Alt backspace to get rid of one word. And then save that file. Try to reload it again. There we go. Not too many mistakes. And we have our window with the green background. And it's already taking, so come over here to escape. It works. It's already taking GL commands. So we can already use OpenGL inside there. And this is pretty much what this file does. And now we've got that converted over to Lisp. I don't have any idea how to do some of this. Like to create a triangle, so much code already. I don't know how I'm going to convert that stuff to Lisp, but this is the main start. Then the only other thing I guess is if I came over here and hit Control C, Control K, like it's saying at the bottom right here. Control C, Control K. It compiles this file. And then for some reason I didn't have to run the quick load, which is kind of strange, but maybe because I already did. Or maybe also because I restarted the Lisp instead of quitting. So what if I just quit? And then now if I say sly, if I want to load that file, it works. Hit escape. And then if I come over here and say Control C, Control K, yeah, so it's cool. I hit escape. And then if I restart this one more time, just to see, because maybe I'm wrong about the require. So if I restart this Lisp file, I guess basically it was getting loaded. But now if I come over here and just Control C, Control K this file, notice this doesn't exist now. And that's because when I loaded the file, the GLFW was getting run in there through require. But with Control C, Control K, it won't. And that's where I would have to come over here and say quick load first. And then get GLFW inside here. And then come over here and hit Control C, Control K. And then it'll work. So just keep that in mind. Ribbit.